Pull up a bucket here. Hi, my name's Brian James. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I just want to do a brief rundown on the Lucky Strike Chevron and what we've been doing over the past few months. Now, if you've been watching my other videos, you'll have noted that the black car that I was building didn't quite make it to the Fraser 5000, so I had to fall back on my Lucky Strike one here. She's running a 3.8 litre V6 in an auto. So it was a little bit thirsty for the run, but there we go. So we'll get on to it. So with the Fraser 5000, we started up at Kerry. Well, actually we started in Auckland. It's supposed to start in Kerry, but we really started in Auckland, where we met at the Fraser factory, and then proceeded to drive up to Kerry via Dargaville and over some incredibly great roads, just poorly upkept, unfortunately. So the cars took quite a hit. My one especially took a bit of a hit. You should see the dent in the sump, but I digress. We get up to Kerry, so we stay overnight there. Lovely place, and we start down the east coast towards Blenheim, stopping along the way in places like Matamata and Gisborne and so forth. I got to drive on roads that honestly I didn't know existed, and they're absolutely great. Look, the more I see of New Zealand, the more I know that this country is absolutely perfect. It was like God made this country for these cars. Beautiful. Had a great time. Anyway, I did note that on some of the more hilly sections that we were travelling, that the Chevron was overheating. Not overheating as such, but the temperature was climbing and up past halfway, which normally didn't do. Now, the only thing that has been done to it was a new radiator, which should be perfect, and a fan shroud. Now, I figured that when we got to Blenheim, I told the guys that we're on the run with that, that was it. But I was going to give it one last hit on trying to get it working so it wasn't overheating. So I was going to cut the shroud to allow air to pass through it, because it had such a very small gap between the shroud and the radiator. I was picking that the air wasn't flowing through and allowing the cooling effect to work. Now, after the Fraser 5000, that's exactly what I did, and it did work. But when I got into Blenheim, I found that I'd been made redundant from my job, and that I needed to head back to Auckland to basically get my toolbox from my employer, my place of employment, which I promptly did, coming back up the west coast of the North Island. Once again, an unbelievably great country to drive in. Stayed in places like New Plymouth and that, Hamilton, and yeah, just had a really good time driving. So went in, salvaged my toolbox. The next week I did the beach hop in the Chevron. Once again, performed flawlessly. After that, we've done one other run, which was a number of weeks ago now, in the Waikato. We covered roughly about 400 k's in a day. Half of that day just bucketed down. It was torrential, but that's okay. You've got a nice jacket on, you've got goggles, you don't get too wet stuck in these cars. Had a very enjoyable time. Stayed with some great people, met up with some good people yet again. The more I see, the more I meet and greet people who have the same passion as I do, I tend to believe that, look, it's absolutely great. I can't speak highly enough of the people that love these cars, and I've yet to meet one that I think's a bit off. Maybe we're a bit off to the rest of the world, who knows? But yeah, no, look, it's a great time. So this Chevron's doing me very well. She's definitely a mainstay at the moment until I can get the black one up and running. Then I'll drop this back into being a show car again. I'm not a great fan of the big wheels, small profile tyres. It makes the journey a bit harder on the person. So the black one I've been built for doing touring, plus it's got the small motor in it, the 1400cc, as opposed to a 3.8 litre, so I can go further on a tank of gas. And I'll just leave this one to the car shows. Look, if you like what you see, please hit subscribe and like, and I will be posting up more videos, and it's going to become a regular thing. The next one, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's just going to go over a brief description of the third Chevron I own, which is going to be turned into a burnout car. Anyway, until then, thank you very much for watching, and you have a good day.